Hello. We're so glad you're here today. Come with me and we'll go up to the sound booth this way. Once you step through here, there's a light right here to your right. If you'll flip it on, it turns the light on the stairs so you can get up without falling down. So now we'll just all go up to the booth here. The first thing you'll need to do is find your instruction sheet. It is on this clipboard. You'll find the instruction sheet. These are very detailed and very accurate on what to do. So if you ever forget, just pick this up and start reading. What we're going to go over first is we're going to go over the AV, the sound portion of this, getting everything turned on here, and then we'll go over to the AV and start doing some of those things, okay? First thing you do, if you'll read here, it says, remove the cover from the board. Before you do anything, make sure you take this off. Next, it says the power sequencer, push the start button. Now, if you'll look over here, on this rack down here, this is the power sequencer on the very bottom. And this little black button, it does say start right on top. If you will push that button, that turns everything on in the right sequence, okay? So you push that button and you'll see sliders start moving, you see buttons start flashing and all that kind of stuff. Now, the next thing it says FOH link. And it's right here, and you turn this power button on, but it's on right now, so we're going to leave it. But normally it'll be off. You just press that power button, and it starts firing up all the rest of the systems in here. As this thing starts, this is a big computer, so it takes a while to load all the stuff in it. In this little status box, that says initializing, it's going to come to busy, and then once busy stops flashing, then you're ready to go. Notice these different tabs across the top of the screen, okay? Inputs, outputs, filing. The filing one's the first one you're going to need to go to. And that's the next thing on your list. It's number 4. It says click on the filings tab. Now the way you click is we have a mouse right here. It's built into this board. And so you'll notice the little mouse, the pointer's moving around as you move the ball around. So you will point to and then left click on to filing. Alright, if you'll notice it now went to show mode right here. And everything is good. So if you will come over here and we're going to click the filings tab.
Did you double click or just click
I just clicked once.
Okay.
Okay? The filings tab. Now, we're going to find the Women's Ministry Bible Study show. Okay? And it says on here, click the Women's Ministry Bible Study show under folders. Alright, and then select Wednesday morning Bible study. When you select that, it turns green. And now at the bottom there is a thing that says load. If you'll click that, it's going to set the board up with all of the things needed for the Wednesday morning Bible study. So you don't actually have to do anything. This does it all for you. Okay? Now, from here, you don't actually have to go anywhere else. You can stay on this page and you're pretty much done. But if you'll look at the board itself, all of the board right here has different things and they're all labeled. So the speaker, that would be Ron's head-worn microphone. We have announcement 1, announcement 2, and announcement 3. Those are handheld microphones and they are kept in the microphone bag in the cabinet back in the closet over here, okay? So if somebody needs a handheld microphone, go grab announcement 1, 2, or 3, and it's labeled on the microphone, and hand it to them. All you have to do to make that work is come up here and unmute it, and then volume up or down depending on how loud they are.
Okay.
That's all you have to do. So if you need to play a CD, here's your CD. It's right here, and if you'll look right here over on this side, this is a CD player. There's actually a CD in it, and it's playing right now. So if we unmute the CD and slide these up, you see how that works? Okay, very good. If you're going to mute it, you can either slide them all the way down or mute them. If you are playing a DVD,
why do you have to have two, left and right?
It's a left and right, left and right channel. Same thing here with your DVD. If you're going to play a DVD, this is where the sound is going to come in from the DVD player. So you will,
DVD player's not.
DVD player's over here because it's part of the screens and part of the. You have to show it out in front, so it's got to come from over there. It comes to here, and the audio portion is put out through here. All right. So you would just unmute it, and then volume up and down as needed for the right volume. That's all you do. When you're done, you mute it back, and that's it. For sound, that is all that needs to happen here. Let's go load a DVD then. So the next thing we're going to do is walk over to this area. What I do need to show you is your screen. They're here. What you want to do is push them to the down position, but make sure that when they're all the way down, you put the button back into the center position.
And why is that important?
Because it can, if the limit switch doesn't work on the screen, it can burn the motor up in the screen. So for a DVD, now I want y'all to all come over here. This is what we're talking about, the input-output unit, which is this thing right here, okay? It's called a matrix selecting switch. But what it does is we're going to tell what to come out on these two screens, okay? We're going to tell something to come out here. So it says, for DVD, push input 7 and output 1 and 2. If you'll look at this, this is the input side, this is the output side. So you'd put input 7, and then you'd push 1 and 2 and hit the enter button. So now input 7 has been moved to these two projectors out there. So we need to turn those projectors on. Power on the projectors by pointing the screen projector remote at the small rectangle to the left of the PC. Now, since we've moved, that's moved also. So if you'll look right there, you see that little rectangle? Little rectangle right there? It's right here. Right here. See that? Oh. That is an IR pad, and what that does is when we're going to hit this is the power button on this remote, and we're going to turn those two projectors on. When you hit it, see the lights up there, and so it lets you know that you've sent the signal out there. So it's going to take a second or two to turn on. You should be able to see the Optima sign. Push the power button on the Sony DVD player. Sony DVD player is also down here. Power button is, right here. See that? It's right there. Alright. And if you'll notice, the screens now have Sony Blu-ray disc player on there. So you would load the DVD or whatever you're into, put it in there, and you would hit play. Oh, and it is.
There we go.
Remote control. This will give you all the different functions that you would be able to choose and go forward, that kind of stuff.
And they point it where?
They point it here at the player. One thing you might want to do is look over here. This is the lighting, and it's not on here at all on this list.
But we'll need it.
But there's some buttons over here, and they're labeled Sermon, Walk-In, Worship, and Video.
Okay.
When it's time for the video, you would want to hit the
Video.
Go to the Worship. It's the third button down, and that lowers the light, takes it off the screens, but it's light enough for people to see and take notes. And so when it's all done, you go back to Walk-In, or let me see, it was on Sermon. Sermon is what it was on. So
if they do need a little bit more light, walk-in is
walk-in's a little bit more, and so you can play with this as needed for different things. You know, there's
work is the brightest.
Work is the brightest, and it turns everything on, but it also turns the lights on the stage. And so see how it's over your screen, so you don't want to ever hit the work light while you're trying to show a video.
This big button is the on-off switch.
The big one is, yes.
So when you walk in and there's nothing on in the sanctuary, the big white button is the on-off. Okay. And then these little buttons are the seats.
All right, so now to turn everything off, what do? You just do everything in reverse. It's really not that hard. So to turn the projectors off, what do? Yes, go ahead and do it, would you? Now it says there, power off, press power again. So you have to actually press it twice. Very good.
Okay.
Excellent. And
the DVD player just
DVD
the
player.
power is easy, just like how.
Yes, you just push the power button and it turns off.
Okay.
Okay? Very good. Now, next thing, I'm going to put the remote control right on top of it.
Okay.
Right.
So we know where it's at.
Now the next thing. The soundboard's a little more complicated, and you have to do a couple of other things, but it's all written right here. If you'll notice, it says, click on the snapshot tab. You see the snapshot tab right here? It says snapshots. If you'll click on the snapshot tab, all right, now it says select all down. If you'll point to all down and left click, and then hit recall. Recall. What that does is it takes all the sliders down to 0, and now we're ready to go to turn it off. Now you click on the Options tab, and
Sounds like mine.
click on the shutdown button. But the shutdown button's grayed out. So what do we have to do? You notice right here it says show mode. We have to click on this, double click, and that changes to the config mode. Okay? You don't even know what all that means. You just need to know that you got to do that because that ungrays the shutdown button. This is written down on this piece of paper, and then you can hit shut down. It's going to say, do you really want to shut down? And you say, oh yes, we really want to shut down. And you click that, and then you come back to that same start button that we started with, and you click on the start button, and then it starts powering everything in the speakers and amplifiers and the board all down in the right sequence.
So the power button is the start? It says start.
It says, actually says start.
Okay.
And so that is the way that this all goes. And then the last thing you would do before you leave.
In addition to the screens, right?
Oh, well, we'll put the screens up too. But is you want to take this cute little blanket so our board doesn't get cold during its nap. And you cover it
Those
up.
2 green lights are not on that power sequencer.
Oh, yes.
There's a little rocker switch. So sometimes it's not supposed to be done, but sometimes you'll come here and it's dead.
Right.
You just got to make sure you flip the toggle. Then you'll see these 2 green lights, and then it's ready for you to hit the start button.
Right.
But that's the master power switch if you ever need it.
Now, somebody go put the screens up for me. All right, now they're all the way up.
That would make me feel better too.
Awesome. Very good job. Now, since you're right there, you want to go ahead and turn the lights off.
Oh, that's it.
And then you can go down the stairs, and the light switch is down there.
What about the sanctuary lights?
Well, the sanctuary lights, all you do is hit the big button, okay? And so that's really all there is.